Dear viewers, the topic which we will discuss today is, will Afghanistan plunge into another phase of civil war, armed conflicts and violence? Certainly, with the fall of Kabul on 15th of August this year, the takeover by Taliban, Afghan Taliban, and not only the takeover of Kabul, but out of 34 provinces of Afghanistan, 33 were occupied by the Taliban, except the Panjshir province. But still there is a battle going on over there. So the question is that more than 2 weeks have passed since the Taliban took control of Kabul and the rest of Afghanistan. And there are numerous concerns and fears that the current phase in Afghanistan, which is a honeymoon period, the Taliban celebrating their victory, that they have defeated a superpower. They have not defeated a superpower because there was no surrender of American forces. What they can basically argue is that they have embarrassed and humiliated a superpower. And not only the United States, but earlier the Soviet Union, and much earlier Great Britain. So Afghanistan is a multicultural, multi-ethnic, multilingual country. It's a tribal society, it has a tribal society. Afghanistan is 274 years old, 1747, by Ahmad Shah Abdali, when Afghanistan was formed. And still Afghanistan has not been able to settle down as a nation state. How can Taliban claim that they will establish their total control over Afghanistan? They will form a new government, a new society based on the Sharia. The history teaches us the lesson that no single authority has been able to control Afghanistan. And that is the reason why Afghanistan in the last 250 years was attacked and occupied by three great powers: Britain, Soviet Union, United States. There are at least 4 major possibilities of the surge of violence and civil war in Afghanistan. The first is that division within Taliban into moderates and hardliners, fanatics and those who are tolerant. And by the way, Taliban is not a political party, it's a group, fragmented, heterogeneous group, representing various school of thoughts, interpreting their mode of religion. If unity among the Taliban, if that unity is fragmented, if that unity is gone, then certainly there will be a conflict and violence between the moderate and the hardline Taliban factions. And there is nothing new about it, it happens. That those Taliban who are not willing to provide any space as far as rights of women concerned, as far as moderation is concerned, They want to rule Afghanistan as they were from 1996 to 2001, as compared to the moderates who want to follow a multi-stakeholder approach and want to basically start a new chapter in Afghanistan. Development, progress, peace, stability, instead of dividing Afghanistan, instead of imposing their own way of life. So that is one thing which we have to understand. The possibility of a split within Taliban. The second thing is that the hardcore of Taliban, that is composed of the Pashtuns, religious nationalists. They are die-hard religious people following their own mode of Sharia, but they are also Pashtun nationalists, so religious nationalists. As it happened earlier, their control over Afghanistan would mean the marginalization of other ethnic communities like the Tajiks, Uzbeks and Hazaras. And Pashtuns have barely 50% of population in Afghanistan. The rest are non-Pashtuns. So that is the reason why fighting is going on in Panjshir Valley, which is non-Pashtun. It's Tajik, led by the family of Ahmad Shah Massoud. The son of Ahmad Shah Massoud is leading resistance against the Taliban, Panjshir Valley. So the ethnic fragmentation of Afghanistan, that is possible when the Taliban, the Pashtun Taliban, they will try to impose their culture, they will try to impose their way of life on the non-Pashtuns. The third thing is that apart from the ethnic, this factor, in the last 30 years, in the last 20 years, since 9/11 and the occupation of Afghanistan by the US-led forces, the induction of new Afghan government under Hamid Karzai and so forth, the process of rebuilding Afghanistan, the process of democratization of Afghanistan, the process of providing better opportunities to women and minorities in Afghanistan, to provide freedom. So an entire new generation in Afghanistan has grown up in the last 20 years, and they will not adhere to the Taliban's repressive, oppressive, suppressive and brutal measures to impose their way of life, banning female education, banning women to work, banning music, songs, films, entertainment. When the Taliban first ruled 1996 to 2001, technology was not much developed in Afghanistan. Talking about electronic media, I'm talking about online, I'm talking about the internet. But in 20 years' time, Afghanistan has changed. An entirely new generation has grown up, and they will not digest the curbs and the restrictions imposed by the Taliban. And by the way, the approach of Taliban, anti-women approach, has started taking shape. They have banned co-education in Afghanistan's educational institutions. They have taken various measures to marginalize women, but women will not accept that. And already there are protests, there are demonstrations by Afghan women against the Taliban. The fourth thing is, which may unleash another phase of civil war and violence, armed conflict in Afghanistan. It has to do with the economic and political realities. Before Taliban came to power, 90% of Afghan budget was financed, as far as the US is concerned, and by various Western donors. The Afghan economy is highly dependent on aid. Which has been withdrawn. And there is economic meltdown, economic collapse. The migration of professionals, educated Afghans, they don't want to live in Afghanistan under Taliban rule, in that suffocating, depressing, frustrating, backward, retrogressive, ultra-conservative environment. So there has been brain drain which the Taliban wanted to stop. 40 million people of Afghanistan, certainly, if things do not improve economically, so there will be a huge famine in Afghanistan. Already there is drought in Afghanistan. Governance, political management of things. For how long Taliban can rely on their external backers or their foreign backers? And the world is watching who is supporting Taliban now, who is behind them. So those forces who had formed Northern Alliance during Taliban's time and earlier, they will again show up. And it mainly depends that the legitimacy, the legality which the Taliban government, if it is a government, can get from the international community. The more isolation for Taliban would mean that they will not be in a position to continue. Again, there will be fragmentation in Afghanistan. Again, there will be another phase of civil war in Afghanistan. And which country will suffer most? Pakistan. More and more pressure on Pakistan to do something against the Taliban. And if under Taliban's rule, Afghanistan is again transformed as a theater or an epic center of terrorism. All sorts of terrorist organizations, Daesh, Al-Qaeda, and even the Haqqani network and the Taliban, who have been declared as a terrorist organization. So what will be the shape of Afghanistan in the days to come will determine the first 100 days, starting from August 15, 2021, the future of Afghanistan. Thank you very much.